had a quick little thought. I just finished editing a video. It's probably posted by now, but I just finished editing a video on a CCNA lab connecting 3 Cisco routers together. And I was just going over the whole process in my head, configuring the routers, explaining the serial cards that I had to use to simulate the WAN links between each router, thinking about the console cable, consoling in, and thinking about all the errors that I made in the process of learning how to do it, and then actually producing the video to show you guys. I was thinking about the fact that learning is a matter of integration. And if you're not integrating what you're learning by contextualizing, by integrating the practices in your day-to-day life, just doing the right things to make the information stick, then you're severely selling yourself short. One of the things that I noticed when coming into this field, the IT field or the IT learning field, is the emphasis on getting certifications, which is fine. I think that's fine. I think you should get certifications. I have 2 certifications and I have multiple college degrees, but I think that education needs to be more geared towards integrating the concepts that we're learning into real life, right? Into developing our schema of the reasons why we're learning these things in the first place. For instance, I'm in a parking lot right now, so I'm just going to use the example of becoming a mechanic. You don't become a mechanic strictly by reading the theory behind engines and brakes and tires and things of that nature. You become a mechanic by practicing, by iterating the concepts that are in your textbook, right? I never went to mechanic school, so I don't know, but I do know that you have to do some sort of practical to demonstrate that you know the concepts, and you have to pass that practical in order to get certified as a mechanic. One of the things that I see a lot in the IT space is this emphasis on certifications. And when I first came into this field trying to learn things, that's all the conversation was centered around, which makes sense because people want to get the certifications, they want to get the job so that they get the experience. But I started studying in the height of the pandemic. I came across a website called danielmiessler.com, and he really sculpted my perspective on IT, on cybersecurity, what have you, which is basically a learning by integration process when it comes to this IT stuff. I read some blog that he posted, and he emphasized labs, spinning up virtual box machines and things of that nature so that you can learn the concepts. I think that really gave me a great footing for being able to learn these concepts at the pace that I'm learning them. Yesterday, literally the same day that I was recording the video on the CCNA lab, is the same day that I learned to configure the 3 router setup. I'm not going to say that I haven't been trying to piece together the concepts for the past 3 months, but to be able to get onto my lab equipment and to wrestle with it for a few hours and then record the video on the Active Recall channel, that experience is invaluable. I'm in concert with a lot of people that just study the textbook, and if you can't afford the physical equipment, that's fine. You can try to get it on eBay, or you can really just buckle down and use Packet Tracer. But I would really like for more people to integrate what they're learning, right? Learning is a matter of integration. So I don't know, that was just a little quick vlog to talk to you guys real quick, because I just had that thought on my mind. I'm about to do some studying, and I just thought about that, how I'm just bouncing back between the textbook and the Cisco lab equipment. And I do recognize my privilege to be able to afford the equipment and to have the equipment in my possession. But if I were to push anybody in any direction, it would be towards getting as much physical equipment as possible. Another thing that I thought about, and the reason why I made that video in the first place, is because I couldn't find any video that would show me how to configure a 3 router setup. Maybe the videos are out there, maybe the information is out there, maybe not in the step-by-step format. I decided to create that video to give someone else a chance to be able to get all the information as much as possible in one spot. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. I think learning in public is very important. That's why I created this channel, to make sure that I'm learning the concepts as well as providing value for people who also want to learn these concepts and don't necessarily have access to the information all in one spot. That lab that I did yesterday, I had to get bits and pieces of the information all over the place and include a plan for me to get the configuration up and running. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Remember that learning is a matter of integration, right? I think that it's very important to contextualize why you're learning the things that you're learning, what's the function of the things that you're learning, and you need to figure out a way to integrate the information or integrate the concepts into some schema of your day-to-day life so that the concepts will stick long term, right? Now that I know how to configure these 3 router setups, I probably won't forget it, because I literally spent like maybe, I want to say I spent maybe between 5 to 6 hours working on this lab equipment, making mistakes. I have a few of the mistakes in the video. Even after working on it for 5 hours, I'm still making mistakes in the video, and you can see that I'm making the mistakes as I go along. So I don't know, I just want to put that out there, and I want people to really focus on wrestling with these concepts like I'm wrestling with these concepts, because there's just more and more information to go around when we all continuously make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and create sort of some notes on it. I forgot what they're called. I learned this in CompTIA, where there's people figure out some errors and then they post it in some sort of database. I forgot what it was, but that's sort of what I want to do with this channel as well. I want to be able to, you know, figure things out, mess up, and then post my results from it, or post my screw ups, so that you guys don't have to screw up. And I'm willing to do that in public. I'm willing to screw up in public. I'm willing for people to correct me in the comment section. And even when I go live, I'm willing for people to correct me, because I look at it like this: that's just free education for me. You know, I have no problem with being wrong in public. I have no problem with being corrected. My ego's not that big. I don't have a big ass head. Well, I do have a big head, but I don't have that big of a head where I'm just gonna be like, oh, nobody can correct me or whatever. Just as long as the respect is there and we're all here to learn and to, you know, build together, right? Like my channel banner says, right? Learning and growing together. And that's pretty much all I have to say, right? I don't want to rant too much. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.